So TeamOne kicking it off on their CT side. They are looking for what would be considered an upset victory over the top-seeded team in their group. That is FURIA.
They counted them as one of their toughest opponents. They know there's a lot at stake as well. They're coming to this one prepared and ready to go. Nade, flash, smoke for Pesa. PRT will get a kit and a nade. Where are they going to throw these HEs? Is there perhaps a mid nade stack coming through from the TeamOne side? Looking at Furia's utility, Quesarato on a flashbang, Raid Boss on Vinny and Yuri. That's an interesting call, and I like it a lot. Let's see where these nades end up going. It looks like it is going to be a B play with the nades, and out mid go the P250s. The double Raid Boss is running it up.
Art gonna get tagged down to 42 HP as Maluke spamming through the smoke. Pesa tosses a nade and connects. Art is down for the count. Drop. Looking to respond here. As Quesarato will be planting this bomb on the A site. So TeamOne, although they found the first frag, they concede the bomb plant to FURIA, and then Vinny drops mobs. XNS looking to gain some space into the site, but his teammates are dropping like flies right now. They need to get a response and fast. XNS comes through, but nope, Yuri denies. Then he gets a second one for himself. Only Pesa left standing. This is nigh impossible for him unless he taps a lot of heads and only find one. Yuri, the final blow, 3K on the round, and no surprise to see him implicated in the fragging here in the opening round.
Definitely a high power fragger for this Furia lineup, and he has been very good as of late coming into this RMR. TeamOne, they're going to force buy into this next round, though. They want to catch Furia back off guard. They want to start this war of attrition. They want to get back on the board as early as possible. They don't want to let Furia run away with a 3-0 lead before guns are in their hands. So in comes TeamOne's Deagle round. Mobs, Pesa, XNS, all deadly with the Deegs. The scout for Maluki, and Mobs pushing up through apartments. He holds the line. He very well might have got an opening kill. Pesa finished off by Yuri, however, and they're going to split on towards B. Mobs will have the first point of contact and the first kill for TeamOne of the round. Taking more shots, though. Quesarato will run him down. PRT from bench has to smoke out to stay alive, but XNS pops another head, and PRT is still alive, and Luke's arrived.
Maluke is going to get taken down by Vinny. I mean, look at XNS and PRT. Oh my goodness, the nades just chewing away at PRT's health, and he's gone. XNS, the last one standing, he has the AK in his hands and says, well, we forced into this round. Bringing an AK back into the next one certainly wouldn't hurt, considering they're going to be on an eco anyway. And yep, he's going to back off here. Likely go into Palace and just save the rifle. That's going to be that. Furia off to a quick 2-0 lead.
I think it's what we would have expected up against the 4 spies. A little bit of damage exchanged, but nothing too serious. If XNS can save the AK, perhaps something can come into the next round for TeamOne, and a big play could turn a tide, but as it stands, a 3-0 start looks very likely for Furia. They are playing like they are the overdogs. They're playing like they need every advantage they can get. Yuri's shadow shows, but it does not matter. He's still going to hit the headshot with the Galil.
Jeez.
Overkill onto XNS. So no guns saved. Stock pistols, perhaps for TeamOne. Maybe an upgrade. P250, flashbangs, a little bit of utility overall. But it's very likely to be a third on the board for Furia. With relative ease, they should be able to keep all 5 AKs in hand, not have to reinvest anything aside from utility, and come into that first gun round primed and ready to shut it down.
I wonder if that loss to Godsent is hurting the confidence of TeamOne a little bit. Haven't really been able to frags early on, and even with the AK, oh my goodness, look at the nades thrown here by Furia. Now they connect on Maluke, and Quesarato is farming away. Drop, going to get XNS with the wall bang, and only Mobs and Pesa are left standing. I know it's still early, right? But it feels like Furia are setting the tone right off the bat. Pesa is going to go down, and so is Mobs. That's going to be that. Furia up 3-0. And yeah, that loss to Godsent 16-7, and also to Triumph 16-7. The surprising win, of course, being up against EG, where we were thinking, oh yeah, this is the TeamOne we're going to see for the rest of IEM Fall, but no.
Nope, it does not seem to be the case. And against Furia, life appears to be difficult for Team 1 moving forward. They do have their first gun round though, so perhaps the guns will even the playing field between these two. Maluki with the op in hand, a decent amount of utility for Team 1, not the best, as they are not using the A1S. 4 A4s on the squad. I know Mike tweeted it out when he's hosting up the desk on the A stream about Team 1 only using the A4s, saying they should read the patch notes. I have to agree because the A1S, it's been so good in this tournament so far. We've seen so many highlight plays with it.
I'm really surprised by that decision. In fact, I just realized it myself as I looked over at their buy-up. What's happening there? The A1S at least have 2 people on it. There's really no reason not to be equipping it right now. It is superior in so many ways, but either way, maybe they feel more comfortable with the A4 spray right now. Who knows? Vinny and Art are going to be headed towards underpass. And they've got the AKs locked and loaded. Team 1, there's Maluke. We talked about him needing to pop off here on Inferno with that AWP in the defense, and he will get one on drop. Art manages to find mobs right before that, and Pesa's trying to win this duel with Art. Art continues to be a nuisance for him, but PRT comes to support. That said, Furia are not done yet. They are going to drop 2 more from Vinny, and Quesarato gets the last on X and S. They clean up house here on the A site and get a 4th for themselves.
4 rounds straight and a decently clean gun round 2, reading Team 1's defense like a book. The spam on Maluki was so well done. Even though he gets a kill, he's pretty much a dead man walking from that point forward. Fury have not even needed to get the op in the hands of Art just yet either. They're going to go back to the AKs despite being given the option for the sniper. They're going to continue to try and set that pace now. They are in the driver's seat of this one, and they're trying to dump Team 1 off of a cliff, secure their spot in the playoffs, and I believe thereby in the major. Drop gets flashbanged, and Art's actually going to fall to Maluki. Blinds a bat, but in comes the next, and Drop will finish the job. Get revenge for his teammate. Nade on towards XNS, should do a ton of damage, down to 28 HP, and he's hemmed in between fire and guns and bullets, and Yuri swings around for 2. PRT and Pace, the last 2 alive, and it's all just Pace, and now he's coming in on a flank, so maybe a little bit of damage can be dealt, but in the end, it probably will not matter all too much. Nice little headshot, but can he get anything further? Molotov will keep him at bay, and he's just waiting to be peeked in on. Quesarato, Yuri, and Vinny, though, they don't want to lose anything for free. They're not going to give Pesa the free kills because they know what a player he can be. So he's going to have to force the issue and perhaps make up his mind to save.
Yeah, no kit. Yeah, I don't think he's going to go for this one. Quesarato trying to go on this flank and take that AK out of the hands of Pesa. And Pesa has to come around and win the fight, and he gets it. Okay, well, at least an AK saved over. Only 19 HP left. I wonder if Furia are going to get even more aggressive and try to chase him down. They do have 6K and 7K in Vinny and Yuri's hands, but I'd have to say that Art might need a drop, so don't be too crazy here on this push. See Yuri. Well, he's not stopping, peeking in towards T-spawn, but Pesa hides around the corner, and he will survive, but that's all they get out of that round.
You know, Team 1, they're going to need something quickly, or I think Fury are going to run away with this match. It is looking anything but close right now. A timeout called is definitely something they need to do. They need to slow things down and figure out what they need to do to counter Furia, because right now, Furia can very quickly win this half with only 3 more rounds won. Is the op going to come out for Furia too? That's something I think they are debating on their own end. But I don't foresee the op really coming through right now. I think there's a gun down for Drop. There he is. AK purchased up now. Dropped by Yuri. Over on the Team 1 side, Maluki does have his AWP again. PRT has yet to invest. They're going to double op. This is a bold call. But desperate times call for desperate measures. This is indeed a desperate time for Team 1. The double ops may very well get that goose egg broken and Team 1 around on the board.
Furia, this is their 3rd match on Mirage and 4 played here in IEM Fall. They certainly will not shy away from a battle here, an aim duel. PRT spots out one. Mobs gets a 2K. There we go. Art going to get the response. 4v3, though. A chance for Team1 to get around onto the board. Pesa connects on Art. Quesorato still standing, though, and he gets a 2K to even things out at a 2v2. Oh, my goodness. The two-man advantage for Team1 has just slipped out of their fingers. And now a bomb plant will come through. Quesorato always so dangerous. XNS does manage to peek around from Cat to drop Vinny. But now it's Quesorato in a clutch situation. 1v2. He has his eyes set towards Market. Laser focused here. Both players coming in from Cat. To Team1's disadvantage, of course, and Quesorato's in a perfect position, in fact, because that Molotov won't clear him out. Team1 could overlook this position as well. Throws the smoke onto the Molotov. He starts to spam away, expecting him to be defused, and gives away his position, in fact. And now they have to find the bomb. They do. Does he have a kit? He does. Actually, he does not. It's going to be down to the wire here. Will he get it in time? Yes.
That's a narrow margin of victory, and considering the investment Team1 threw into this round, double ops, it is not sustainable for them. They are lucky to get away with that one, though. Quesorato panics a little bit. I don't know why he spammed the smoke, given the fact I don't think there was a tap on it.
There wasn't any audio cue. Well, what I think he thought is that they used the bloom of the smoke to kind of guise the defusal, but he would have seen them jump on the bomb. I don't know. That was a weird one.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing there. Maybe a little bit of a panic setting in, because he is in a one and done spot essentially up on Ninja Box. But we reset here. Furia have another buy. Art will not use the op again in this round. It looks like Furia want to stick with the rifles on their T sides of Mirage. Art, though, with the rifle, spots out Pesa and tags him down to about half HP. Quesorato, though, bullying his way out onto the B side, tossing a flash for himself as well, makes PRT turn away, and now opens things up. Smoke goes down. A couple more players are on Cat, but Quesorato continues to do the damage. Mobs and Pesa so low. Yuri goes through smoke. He is blind, but Mobs has two. He's finished off Vinny. Quesorato denies the next one for him, however. As Drop now still in towards apartments is holding the back lines. He has the bomb on his back as well. And Art has been picked off by Maluki. So perhaps things turning back into the way of Team1.
Quesorato spots out Pesa, though. Makes it a 2v2 once more. And here comes that bomb plant. Quesorato up to 10. He's tied with Yuri at the top of that scoreboard. And they're the only two players in the server to get into double digits so far in their frag count. Flash, make that a smoke, can be thrown out here by XNS. So that he can come out and do exactly that. Just spam through the smoke and take Quesorato down to 39. They've got the pincer attack coming through, but Drop gets Maluke, leaving only XNS, but XNS manages to find the trade. Quesorato this time doesn't have to panic. He's got the time on his side, and he will get the headshot over on XNS. The 4K on the round, 6-1 in favor of Furia, who isolate that round victory for Team1.
Isolated victory, but a narrow miss there from Team1. Then again, winning the rounds with only 2 and 1 players surviving respectively would have been just about as bad. Yes, it would have been 2 rounds on the board for Team1, but it would have been detrimental for the economy. They still would have been in a very dire strait. They are going to be on a deco here now with a 5-7-4 Maluki. A little bit of utility for Team1, but Furia seem like there's no brakes on this freight train right now. They continue to bully their way around, and Quesorato and Yuri have really been the phalanx that pushes through this Team1 defense. Art as the opener. Pesa actually has a trade onto Quesorato. He's been a key player for Furia so far. Good one to pick up. Drop does not clear the close angle. That's a big miss, and Maluki takes full advantage of it. Yuri, he's going to dash in towards snipers. Maybe even go for a flank here. The Fury are playing from down on the back foot, but that soon flips into their advantage, John. And this is where I think Furia can stabilize again and get themselves a 7th on the board.
So nicely done. This is something Furia is really good at. It's playing in the man disadvantage situation. They just don't panic under most circumstances. Aside from Quesorato, that was a weird circumstance that we saw. Spamming through the smoke. But look at PRT and Pesa. They get a couple coming on back. Vinny finds a way to get the frag on PRT, but now we have a 1v1. How did this come to fruition? Vinny planting the bomb to put the pressure on Pesa, who does have the utility to go for this retake. Couple of flashes, and that Molotov could come very much in handy. Vinny has a couple of flashes of his own. He's going to post up over at bench, and Pesa doesn't clear it out. He was expecting the player to be over at E-Box. And that means that Furia, once more in a very tightly contested round, find the victory.
The moods look completely different right now. FURIA look very, very happy. TeamOne, anything but. 7-1 the scoreline. I guess you can expect it to be a little bleak for them, but still. It's the CT side of Mirage, and TeamOne are getting bullied here. Double ops again. They did find success the one time they didn't have it, but I'm sure that TeamOne know that FURIA are expecting it this time. So much utility use. It's a very spread out setup from FURIA as well. 3 up middle, 2 towards ramp, but Vinny traces the tracers a pace of back and forth. Gets that opening kill. That doesn't happen if you have the A1S. Not
That's
saying,
true.
just saying. And Mobs walks through a smoke to Yuri's crosshair.
They're giving themselves a handicap, honestly, in the current meta.
Yeah, they are.
Another way. Maybe they like their skins too much. Neo Noir M4A4 is very pretty.
I have one sitting in my inventory, but I'm using the player too.
As you should. PRT. He's watching through into those T apartments. I should say B apartments. Sees them come on through, and I think he's just going to back off. Did he spot them out? I'm not 100% sure because he goes back into CT, and now they're just completely falling away. Yuri might be able to do some damage. No, at least XNS spots him out, takes him down to the ground, and will ensure that the 3-man save can be carried forward. But FURIA, surprisingly, dominating here, at least on the scoreboard, with an 8th round victory.
John, I have a theory here. One round, it was just a tactical reset.
You know, maybe in the old meta, I'd buy that a little more, obviously, but now, yeah, it only kind of hits your loss bonus for a little bit. So sometimes I do miss that old meta,
Oh yeah.
the old economy, but I think it's important to kind of progress and make some changes to keep things interesting.
Yeah, it really has made games be a lot closer, and I think it's evened the playing field between a lot of teams significantly. Granted, you know, there are some complaints about games going too long, and I think the new economy is definitely to blame for that, because pistol buys and force buys are so much more common, and,
Yep.
well, players are just, I think, getting better and better too, so the overall skill cap is being closed towards the top echelon of play. TeamOne gonna call a timeout as they save those 2 ops. They can try and reset into this round. Not their economy, obviously. They need to grow that and get some rounds on the board, but FURIA, I think for them it's just steady as she goes, continuing what they're doing right now. They haven't really needed to do too much tactically either. They just keep on taking their control. Be fast, be furious, your shots, and we all know all of these players on FURIA are quite capable when it comes to the aim duels.
Oh, yes, they are, in particular, Keisarato and Yuri. But, oh yeah, Art also, of course. Once he switched over to that main op when Junior was put on the bench, he certainly filled the role well.
Yeah, he is.
Well, TeamOne gonna go for some aggression here. Oh no, the nade hits Malbs, gives away its position to Keisarato. At least a trade comes through afterwards, but 4v4 instead of what could have been a 5v4.
That wasn't the best of flashes, though. It didn't go deep enough to blind the player in kitchen. That's a
Well,
goal that I think.
I mean, it hits Malbs, right? So not only
yeah,
gives
true.
the audio cue, right? It doesn't go far enough, as you mentioned, to get the flash.
Here comes a flash from Maluki, though, but Vinny still swung out through apartments. He gets a kill, but in comes XNS. Only able to get 1, though, drop. He stays alive. 12 HP, 88 and 4. Doesn't happen with the A1S. PRT holding in towards Ticket Booth, flashed away and aggressed upon by Art, who tosses in a Molotov to keep him at bay. PRT's going to go forward through it, burns down to 44. The bomb will get planted momentarily by FURIA. It's the outside double plant, and it's a good, very good plant spot if you can manage it. All this utility coming in towards Ticket Booth, though, is going to do a little more damage. FURIA players congregating out towards under and CT or T ramp. Vinny keeping an eye on things, spots the nades going through. He should have an easy mow down if he hears the taps. That's the thing too. Vinny gets to hear all the sound cues. He spams away though, doesn't know Paces on the bomb. Paces swings out as well. Easy kills there for Vinny. And FURIA 9-1 on top of TeamOne.
Where is the TeamOne that pushed FURIA to 30 rounds?
On vacation?
No, even Mob's unable to really get many frags on the board here. Vinny just cleaning up, making it look way too easy. 9-1 for FURIA. 11th round of play, and TeamOne Well, they're on an eco. They got 3 deagles, the 5-7, and the MP9. Exness going to try and charge up here and catch someone off guard. He does catch Vinny with a Molotov in his hands, but doesn't do the damage to finish him off, and Vinny will be able to escape with 76 HP, and not too worse for the wear. That will give TeamOne a chance to gain a lot of space out of those apartments, though.
FURIA are playing this a little slower than they have in rounds prior. Perhaps waiting for aggression from TeamOne on the pistols, who they know are most likely going to be on a save or a half buy, something where it's not going to be full rifles and where they'll be prone to have more of a gimmicky setup. Drop, ready to smoke off one. Maluki in towards this close angle on ramp. Will he get cleared this time by Drop? Surely he does, but he still doesn't win that duel. 5-7, very strong in those close range angles, and Maluki will just dash away, hop around. The nade will do a little bit of damage onto PRT, but overall, man advantage for TeamOne, and a good start for them for the first time, I think, in almost forever. Smoke goes out by Art, though, and he'll continue walking forward. Malbs might have a kill or two here in store for us, John. But no, the Deagle is not controllable in that situation for him.
Well, XNS from long range gets the MP9 frag over on Art, but Queserato immediately responds on the other side of the map to drop PRT, taking it in sight. Case that chance to surprise Vinny, but that opportunity at surprise whittles away after he misses the first shot, and then Vinny spots out XNS coming through Murder Hole. So, FURIA already up to double digits, 10-1.
10-1, this is becoming a stomp and a rout for FURIA. They do come in here as the overdogs, as the favorites of this group, and they are definitely living up to their expectation. I think maybe things would have gotten a little closer against Godson and 00 Nation than they would have liked, but overall they have stabilized quite well. They are primed and ready to book themselves a ticket to Stockholm, and their last matchup is against EG, who have proved to be rather underwhelming as of late, getting stomped by the aforementioned TeamOne. So there's a lot at stake for TeamOne in this matchup. FURIA, they're realistically fine. They don't really have too much pressure on them at all. And maybe that is a difference maker too, John, where all the pressure's on TeamOne's shoulders, and FURIA, they can just play however they want, and the lead keeps on growing, meaning they have less and less to worry about.
Perhaps. I mean, I would argue there is some pressure on FURIA's side, right, to perform at the level that people expect, but I do agree that TeamOne probably themselves are putting pressure on them, or putting pressure on themselves, I should say, just to perform against this FURIA roster and their Brazilian counterparts. They want to prove that they're up to the task, of course. Alrighty, TeamOne. An op, 2 M4s, the AUG, and the A1S. Trying to wrestle around out of the grip of FURIA, but they are not loosening that grip at all. Art will go down to Pesadello. Vinny gets the immediate trade. He's going to jump up on top of bench and tries to spot out a player over in ladder room, but will eventually have to fall off that fight. Vinny, in the meantime, he's got an angle into that vent. Will he be able to spot out the player coming through? I don't know. Well, he does, actually. Mobs goes down. Drop also gets XNS entering in towards Connector. And now we have a 4v2 in favor of FURIA. Maluke does connect on a shot on Yuri, but it's not a killing blow. And there's Vinny again. Third on the round. PRT. Last one standing, and he will be on the save once more. TeamOne just has not been able to get their economic footing. PRT hopes to save the AUG, but FURIA have been very aggressive on the chase, preventing TeamOne from saving on several occasions.
Even if they did save, I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference, John. TeamOne are outgunned and outclassed in this matchup right now. The TeamOne that we've seen previously just does not seem to be here. They look absolutely absent. And a little behind the times, too, given their reliance on the A4. And overall, it just looks like FURIA are bullying the opposition.
Yeah.
Really hasn't had to be too much in terms of tactical genius from FURIA. For the most part, it's been, hey guys, let's flash, let's run, let's shoot, and wherever we end up, we end up. It's probably really fun to play like this if you're FURIA, but if you're TeamOne, it's got to be incredibly hard to counter because there's not exactly anything to read into, too, on the FURIA side of things. Underpass, though, is going to be pressured a little bit by XNS and Mobs, but here comes Vinny, but The A1 has a slow fire rate. That is the one downside of the weapon. It does come back to bite him there. There's no trade back. Maluki able to get another one from this position. He's been allowed to get 3 kills from there now. He's been able to trade it.
You're going to toss a Molotov on top of balcony, and that's going to force PRT off of it. He will be underneath it. Drop. One of 2 or 3 remaining players here on this FURIA side. So a chance for TeamOne on a round they didn't invest much into for them to take it. We've seen how well FURIA, of course, have played in these man disadvantaged situations. So perhaps they'll be able to pull one back here. Ooh, Art flicks around but misses the shot and takes damage in turn. Down to 75. Thought that was the opener that FURIA were looking for in the round, as a smoke is going to be thrown for window so that FURIA can take a little more time to make their final decision on where the execute is going to come through. Yuri, in the meantime, has been lurking here towards the T ramp for quite some time. Maluke and PRT toss their last piece of utility towards the ramp, and that's going to trigger drop to come out here. Jungle engagement from Mobs, who misses all of his shots. Yuri going to find one. Finally, Mobs connects over on Art, but Drop has time to recover. It's going to be XNS and PRT to get the final blows here, though. TeamOne on the board for a second. Finally, they make the man advantage work and don't let FURIA back into the round.
Of all the rounds to win, too, for TeamOne, it comes on Deagles and basically no hope whatsoever. All the pressure of that round out of the window. Maluki with a nice kill there. Mobs, at the very least, getting that first one, but overall, TeamOne do stabilize. They force a timeout of FURIA, too, which is very interesting considering they already have 11 rounds to the T side. What do they have to time out about and talk over? Perhaps they saw errors that they don't want to happen again. They want to fix these things up before they move forward here. So, for FURIA, not taking any chances against TeamOne, not wanting to let them back into this game, perhaps. They are going to invest heavily into this one. AKs across all 5 again, but Art and Drop are low on money. 0 for Art, 500 for Drop. I mean, granted, the same could be said for TeamOne across the board, but that's to be expected at the scoreline. You wouldn't expect, though, 2 players to be in that reset territory when you are up 11-2, so at the very least, TeamOne have that going for them if they're able to pull off a 3rd round here.
I mean, look, here's the thing. If you find something wrong, regardless of how far ahead you are, call the timeout. Talk things over, because you don't know when things might snowball out of your favor. Art is going to get the smoke shot on Maluk, headshotting him down to the ground. 5v4. Quick advantage in the first 15 seconds of the round. Vinny's hanging around here, suspecting that someone else might be in here, and his instincts are correct. He will see the barrel of Pesadella's gun and takes him down while Quesarato spots XNS. So FURIA, despite the fact they looked a little bit disjointed in that previous round, they solve everything and bring TeamOne down to a 5v2. Both players are all the way over on the B site for TeamOne. And given the fact that they don't have much economy under the feet list, XNS and Pesadella don't, probably want to carry over these rifles if you can, but look how aggressive FURIA are. Man, oh man, they don't want TeamOne to bring anything forward. PRT fighting with Art, wins that duel. Molotov flies in, forces the smoke out of PRT's hands. Now that nade will do him in. Only Mobs left, and he gets one. Quesarato with the trade, and that means no rifles saved over. The buy-up will be even rougher here for TeamOne, who are down by 10.
Maluki does have the op at the very least. A couple rifles are going to come through. The FAMAS on Pesadelo, PRT with the M4. Mobs will go for a Deagle and utility. Perhaps Mobs can get activated with the hand cannon here, but I have been a little disappointed in his overall performance here. I hoped he would have been one of those top players for this TeamOne roster. XNS has delivered quite well, so has Pesadelo. And Maluki, even on the pistol, has been quite good. But they're going to need to get something done with the rifles here to have a snowball's chance to come back into this matchup. Pace has a gap in the smoke, line up for one, cannot get the second just yet, drops the smoke for his own retreat, and runs away as the Molotov comes through, will not extinguish, so they know he's gone away. Another one comes through, but Maluki out towards Palace has spotted one, but he misses the shot onto Quesarato, holds on to Art's fallen op. Smoke goes out to wall him off, but the bomb's going to go down pretty easily still for FURIA. And this is where the retake becomes very necessary for TeamOne. And with Quesarato forcing in, spotting the shadow of XNS, it does go from bad to worse here for TeamOne, although Yuri falling opens a little bit of a window. And Quesarato falls as well. Here comes the opportunity. TeamOne may be able to get a 3rd.
Vinny, the last one standing here. Maluke and the rest of the squad. Do they realize Vinny's here? He's going to tap away at the diffuser and continue tapping. Finally goes down. They do have the kits, and there should be time here. There is. So at least TeamOne get a third on the board before the half ends. But we're going to take a quick break before second half is underway.
This world is slowing down. How can I fight it? How can I listen when there's no sound? Oh, the wolves are out. Yes, the wolves are out. Hold on to what you found. Days are deceiving. My head is spinning round. Oh, I hear you now. Yes, the wolves are out. Inside of our reality. Satellites singing serenity. Send out a signal, please remember me. Send out a signal, come and set me free. I'm losing sight of our reality. Satellites singing serenity. Send out a signal, please remember me. Send out a signal, come and set me free.
FURIA have a huge lead coming to the CT half of Mirage. It's a must-win map for TeamOne to give themselves a chance to qualify for the major. FURIA can qualify themselves with winning this one. They're only 4 rounds away. Pistol round is here, John, and TeamOne are running to B.
Well, they've slowed the pace a little bit. And Vinny spots out an arm, so he knows that someone's coming this way. At least one. Now he hears all the bullets. The flashbangs are on point from drop. He gives Vinny the opportunity to get a 2K. Could find himself a third, but no. XNS finally takes him down. But it's dropping hard to get a couple of taps of their own, leaving only Pesa standing to fend for himself without the bomb on his back and only his Glock in hand. Pesa slows it down a little bit, trying to spot out the 1v1, sees one at Cat, looking to isolate Art. Still viable for him. Now the bomb has been recovered. Tosses out a decoy just to make some noise there. But really, at this point, he's trapped, and there you have it. Quesarato will wrap it up, and FURIA get the pistol round, extend their lead back to 10, and they only need 3 more round victories to secure their spot in the playoffs, and I do believe a first place seeding.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think anyone can take over that spot in the group. So they'd play number 2 from Group A in playoffs if everything is remembered correctly in my brain right now. So for Furia, they set themselves up quite nicely to get a bucket load of points and get themselves a spot in the major mobs. That's disgusting.
Whew.
Rips the head off of Yuri on the cross. That's a man advantage for Team1 on a half buy that they're going into this round with. Art's pushed up a little bit, and he decides to not over-aggress. A wise decision, as perhaps Bulbs could have made it a double kill with the Deagle. But Team1 are going to be funneled in towards B now, and Art swings again
Oh,
late.
no,
That's
the bomb.
But it's going to be recovered here, surely. Art, don't over-aggress, Art. You can get caught. Oh, he's got a friend now. Now this is where you swing. 1, 2, 3. Queserato, unable to get the next one. And he will fall away. Make sure he's not run over by the pistols. And now the picked up AUG for Pesadillo, which might be tossed over
AUG
to
drop.
Mobs considering the health. Yes, is great from drop. And he's got Vinny with him. This is the end of the round right now.
Wow, that's such a great reaction from both Drop and Vinny to push up through the apartments, close up the gaps on the map, and ensure that no one from Team 1 was going to walk away from that alive and onto the bomb site. So Furia, although it looked okay for Team 1 at a few moments, they will get the 14th round. And Team 1, they're just going to be buying up for the remainder of this. There's no question they have to. AK is going to come out this time around. Not as much utility as they would like, but they'll take what they can get. 4 players leaning towards that B site momentarily, but now Art is going to head on over to post up at the window room. And you're going to see Yuri into connector. In fact, peeking quite aggressively. Lots of flashbangs tossed in here from both sides. Team 1 want to get that mid control, but it just doesn't happen. And they fall back into some defaults. The bomb is on the back of XNS here. He's with Maluk. And they're posturing for an A hit, but they need to get some smokes to him before they do. In fact, they have no smokes left. They have a couple of flashes and a nade, so probably just going to throw those flashes and hope for the best. But with Queserato waiting there, well, at least XNS goes down. Yuri finds one as well, but the trades come back. Team 1 make it a 3v3, and that's the A site taken. They don't have the bomb just yet, but there you go. Pesa is going to double back to get it. And now Mobs, great flashbang thrown by Pesa. He ensures that Mobs gets an easy 2K and only Drop left standing all the way over on the B site. The A4 in his hands, and well, despite Furia's very big lead and impressive play, this time around, Drop is on the save.
And look at Furia's money, too. It's not very strong. Only Queserato is 2K, Vinny at 1,500, Drop at 10. So, right now for Furia, they need this M4 to have a decent bind to the next one. They can get a few rifles, perhaps an SMG or 2 up as well, or even a Deagle, which we've seen pay massive dividends, as evidenced by Mobs in last round. But Team 1, they win a critical one. They keep Fury off of that 15th, and they give themselves now a bit of more of an opportunity to be able to come back into this one. It's not a big one still, but they are going to close the gap slowly but surely. That was fantastic. Great flashbang, and even better spray control to get that second kill. So good stuff there from Team 1. Show that they're not out of this fight just yet. But here comes the buy from Furia. An AUG, M4s on 2, and Queserato on a USP. Well, it's Furia. Anything can work for these guys. I'm a little confused about it, though. Oh, I do like that boost.
Team 1 again, going to use a lot of utility towards the A site. It's a bit of a fake, of course, since these 2 players now have the bomb in their backs. They're hoping it's a full rotation to A, but with the bomb not spotted, well, Furia is not biting. And not only that, Vinny gets the opener on PRT. Now Team 1 are going to rotate back towards B. Drop, though, is waiting there, spamming through the smoke for 2. What a read from Drop. Figured there were more bodies beyond that smoke, and ensured that Team 1 made no progress forward. Queserato on the flank gets the Deagle headshot on Pesa, and Vinny caps it off. Even when Team 1 have the edge in terms of hardware, Furia finds a way. Match point and 11 chances to close it out.
This one is going to be brutal for Team 1. A slog of rounds required to even have a chance at overtime. And this one, John, their buy is weak. They have 2 Deagles, 2 AKs, and a Galil. Minimal utility. It is quite poor. And there might be an angle out towards middle from Yuri there on this line. We'll see. But in comes a peek from Art, and that gives an AK over to TeamOne. A window of opportunity has gone into their hands now. And Yuri's going to try and trade things back. In comes Queserato too. Good utility over towards Tetris. Will force TeamOne away. They don't want to commit towards A. They've drawn all the Furia players over here. But the longer they refuse to hit this site, the more opportunity Furia has to either push up their middle or go back towards B and hold things down.
Well, TeamOne, despite falling back momentarily, here they come onto the A ramp once more. No one really in Palace posted up to take the space. And Queserato, I believe, waiting right underneath balcony. Yes, he is. XNS sees the smoke fade, and here come TeamOne going for their execute. They're walking into a crossfire unbeknownst to them. Queserato gets one, Yuri another, and Yuri finds two despite the flashbang that was thrown. This could be over right here. Pesa and Maluke, the last bastions of hope for the TeamOne side. Pesa's gone, only Maluke. He's looking for targets, cannot spot them. Finally does get a wall bang at the very least on Queserato. Just some wild spray paying off. Still has to deal with two more, but no, he's pincered in. It is done. It is dusted. Furia win it 16-4 and clinch their spot as #1 in the group.
Fantastic work from Furia. They came in expecting themselves to be the overdogs. They came in with that expectation as the favorites in this group, and they definitely delivered, shutting down TeamOne every step of the way. I don't think TeamOne ever strung together a round. I think they were all on islands, which is fantastic work by the Furia squad. And overall, they dominated on every aspect of the game. I guess maybe they struggled against pistols. That's the one, I guess, slight blemish on this game from Furia. But overall, it's about as clean as it gets.
Very impressive performance. They really put those last two matches up against TeamOne in the rear view mirror and dominated them from start to finish. TeamOne, this is the thing I've been complaining about for them for quite some time. It's the lack of consistency on this roster. Sometimes, when everyone's firing on all cylinders, they look like they could be one of the most dangerous teams in North America. And other times, well, we get this. You have to also give Furia credit, of course, because they are performing amazingly well. Looks like they've shaken off all the rust being an NA from the IEM winter qualifiers, and they're just charging through this, aren't they?
I mean, it was, what, 3 days ago now that they lost to Godsend in the BO3?
Yeah, I can't believe that happened. I still had Furia picked 100% to win that. But
You and me
yeah,
both.
they didn't get too deterred by it at all.
We might even get to see Drops kill up towards apartments again. If we do, I hope we do. Because his read again was fantastic. The way he just predicts that there's another player behind that smoke. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And where there's fire, there's tease. Just look, it's on the highlight package, but it was a very good play by Drop to really